Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Leadership Void podcast. I'm Enrique, Vince, my co-host, and today we're going back west. I love this traveling, Vince. This is we don't get tired. There's no jet lag, but we're visiting some special former Navy sailor doing great things with a great foundation. I'll let Vince introduce.
Absolutely excited as well. Here, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. Here we have another dynamic guest. He is Anthony Doc Ameen, founder and CEO of Wings for Warriors in the greater Phoenix area in Arizona. So thank you, Doc, for being here on our show. Let's just start off and tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen, for having me, and former Navy friends. I appreciate it. Shipmates. Yeah, I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've been out here for about 30 years, minus the 10 years I was in the service, or 8 years. So, when I was in the service, when I had the opportunity to go somewhere, and transition, I went right back home to Phoenix, Arizona. It's just what I call home. And now I'm raising my family here. And it's kind of crazy that my kids are actually going to the same schools that I went to when I was a kid. So it's pretty cool.
Outstanding. Now, we're very well aware. We've done a little work on your foundation, but can you share with us what Wings for Warriors is and what you guys up to?
Should I share what it was and what it now is? Is that okay? So when I started Wings for Warriors, after losing my leg in Afghanistan as a hospital corpsman, I was running to save one of my Marines, and halfway across the battlefield, I stepped on an IED. And unfortunately, that patient, that Marine, did not come home alive, nor did my left leg. And so when I came home, God gave me a second chance. And so with that second chance, I was still broken, and I became victim to a broken healthcare system. So you have a broken wounded warrior falling victim to a broken healthcare system. And I was a doc, and I kind of knew how to provide, but now I'm a patient. So I've seen both sides of the healthcare spectrum. And I was like, wow, I was watching the nurses, the doctors, the therapists very closely on how I was being treated as a wounded warrior. And as a hospital corpsman too, I was kind of watching closely their mistakes and what they could have been doing to strengthen their healthcare providing. And so with that being said, I fell victim to a lot of veterans over the course of the last several years with Iraq, Afghanistan. There's like 52,000+ wounded warriors that were basically here. Let me start that over. I apologize. Over the course of the last several years with Iraq, Afghanistan, you have 52,000+ wounded warriors from that era of conflict, and I was one of those. And after 34 surgeries performed to save my limbs, amputation, all of that, PTSD on top of all of that as well, that I was denied my benefits. And so I started an organization, Wings for Warriors, to help veterans with mainly disabled and wounded veterans with their healthcare, financial, legal benefits, so that they don't fall through the cracks like I somehow did. And then with regards to the name Wings for Warriors, hence the name, we provided travel assistance for veterans' family members, their support teams, to basically fly and visit their healing heroes. And as you guys are well aware, like a lot of the veterans that are healing and recovering from their injuries from war, it's not necessarily like in their hometown. It's going to be at San Diego, San Antonio, Maryland. And so we basically developed these resources and these partnerships with other organizations, and we made it happen for 8 years. And happy to say that we did that for 8 years. And as the founder and CEO, I wanted to do something different with the organization as we approached the 10-year mark after serving 5,000 veterans with basically benefits counseling and travel assistance. So now we're a foundation where we find, fund, and fuel 4 organizations within a 2-year period. So every 2 years, it's going to be another slew of 4 organizations as our beneficiaries. And now our mission is completely different. So I'm sorry for our guests that are like, what's going on with this guy? Basically, what we do now is offer transformational growth, health and well-being, and really just spiritual fitness. as a broken veteran, I was also broken, not only emotionally, physically, mentally, but spiritually, I was broken as well. And when I found God again and started working on that relationship with Christ, it did something to me deep within, where I was like, you know what? Benefits counseling's cool, travel assistance is cool, but like, I'm on a new mission. And so that new mission is helping veterans, not just Christianity, but maybe it's meditation, yoga, hiking, just finding their inner self, right? Their inner being, and being able to be a productive and person of society that they feel like they're accomplishing something. And so I try to, through this new mission and this new model, I'm trying to help as many veterans as possible with their spiritual fitness.
I definitely love your mission and the story backdrop behind it all. Unfortunately, what you and the Marine been through and 53,000 others have been through, but those pain points are real, and you have created something that's a need. And how are you all holding up based on what has happened in our current pandemic?
Great question. So last year, for the most part, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but the pandemic kind of forced me as an entrepreneur to think differently, to be more creative, more innovative. And that's one of the things that pushed me and forced me to change the model of Wings for Warriors, is because, like I said, we did what we did for 8 years. And then that 9th year was COVID. And COVID was a weird year for a lot of business owners. And so I got out of my comfort zone, and I just plowed forward. And I relied on God as my vessel. And I just went with it and just trusted that it was going to work out. And it's been amazing. The response from previous and former sponsors, donors, supporters, new sponsorships. There's just a lot of love that's happening because of what we're currently doing. And also because of the pandemic, if we all can take a moment to reflect on 2020, a lot of our first responders were working overtime. Healthcare workers, EMTs, paramedics, and you also have firefighters and police officers that were responding to pandemic calls, right? And so something, again, deep within was like, should we be offering this to first responders too? And so Wings for Warriors Foundation offers what we offer to veterans, and not just wounded anymore, all veterans and all first responders and their surrounding families. And it's just been amazing.
And that's so wonderful to hear that not only did you get to an epiphany, right, your moment of truth, and you find your platform, your foundation, which is great for anybody, but now you're transitioning. And a lot of people took 2020 to to look in and say, man, what can I be doing? You guys have restructured your organization. It seems like you're happy with it. So where is it going from here? What do you see, for Wings for Warriors in the future?
Well, we're actually in talk, and I hate to say this, but I'm excited. I'm too excited not to share because it might not go anywhere. But there is without saying their name, there's an organization, a national organization that is very interested in bringing the benefits counseling and travel assistance back. Again, it might not happen, but I'm going to trust on God that whatever he needs, whenever he needs for his kingdom is going to happen, right? So God's timing, and I'm just going to trust in him that if it doesn't work out, then there's a reason for it. And if it does work out, then let's go, baby. And so other than that, we're getting really excited because I actually just published a book. It's called Nonprofit Suck. Suck is an acronym. So there's 3 S's, 3 U's, 3 C's, 3 K's. And I don't tell people what the acronym is because you got to buy the book to find out. But it's basically talking about my nonprofit leadership experience over the last decade. And it's mainly a book, Nonprofit Suck, a love letter to future founders. So it's telling future founders of the world what to do and what not to do based on my decade of experience as a nonprofit leader. And we have our annual Veterans Day Gala. Last year, we weren't able to have it because of the pandemic restrictions, but this year we're going to have a Veterans Day Gala here in Phoenix, Arizona. And man, it's going to be amazing. We've got a lot of amazing speakers, guests, and entertainers. So it's going to be a good time.
We definitely put it out there to buy this book. And speaking of leadership, which we're going to talk about, you definitely have a lot in the nonprofit world, also in the Navy and prior to. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's peel back the onion. What professional development areas do you work on to improve your capabilities as a leader?
Love it. I kind of have, well, I don't kind of have, I very much have OCD. And I thank my parents for it. I thank the Navy for it. And I don't know about my kids and my wife, but you know, my OCD, it's my biggest strength and it's my biggest weakness combined. However, with that being said, I have this daily regimen, these daily rituals that I do, and a lot of which is to better myself as not only a man, as a father, a husband, and just as a citizen of this world, but also as a business leader. And so I go to Twitter. I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV since 2019, but I like to go on Twitter, and there's Inc., Fast Company, Harvard Business Review. I like to read these, basically just these morning readings, and I kind of flip through it. And people think I'm probably like tweeting to them what they should do to better themselves. That's actually not what I'm doing. I'm actually reminding myself these articles that I can refer to at a later date. And what happened was it turned into this pattern that people started to follow my little daily patterns on Twitter. And so that's something I do. And a lot of time these articles are basically self-improvement, how to not be a micromanager, how to trust your teams, how to communicate, how to have empathy and compassion for people. And I'm not only noticing this in my professional life, but also my personal life. I'm using these tools and resources that I'm getting from my daily readings. But that is one of the main things I've been doing to better myself as a leader. That and just making myself available to people. I think that communication is key to grow, not only individually, but professionally. And if you're not communicating with your teams, then there's no growth. And I think communication is probably one of the best resources that any leader should be tapping into.
Yeah, and we launched this podcast on a survey that yelled communication, right? Communicating with folks, and that's how we got started. So, you know, you mentioned a couple of things there that are so critical to leadership and the execution of leadership. But there's a lot of people out there just starting off, right? They're getting their feet wet in the leadership road. What can you tell emerging leaders, something that you learned while you was growing up, both in the Navy and in business, that can help them out here in the near future?
I got to think about the Navy for a second, but with regards to business, I would have to say like learning how to say no, and learn how to say no quick, because I think as an emerging business leader, you're going to want to throw as much stuff to a wall to see what sticks as humanly possible. But there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong at some point in your entrepreneurial efforts as as a business leader, that you're going to hit a point where now you've got a daily rhythm, a weekly rhythm, a monthly, yearly rhythm. And you don't want to lose that momentum, because if you take too much time off from your focus points, you're going to lose that momentum, and you're going to lose sales, you're going to lose growth, and you're going to lose that momentum. So I think learning how to adapt and say no frequently. I said yes really fast to you guys because I love your show. But if it wasn't a show that I didn't agree with, and it wasn't something that resonated with me, why am I going to waste my time as a business leader? Because I have other things and other team members to work with. So I would say to any young professional that's growing a business or starting one, learn how to say no, and learn how to say no frequently.
I totally agree. And as part of that is knowing your own value, right? Value of time, value of money, the value of your self-worth. So I definitely appreciate that tidbit for emerging leaders. Know how to say no, because there's 3 responses: yes, no, or maybe, or counter offer. So you got to work with those 3. And speaking of that, there comes and emerges different challenges and we're faced in these times in times and tribulations. How do you face current challenges or ones you currently or past challenges you faced?
And to his previous question, this is going to be an answer for both. With my experience in the Navy, I would say, you know, I had bosun mates. When I first joined, I was a deck seaman. So for the first 2 years, you know, I had to grow thick skin, and I had to grow thick skin really quickly. And I think to be in the business world, you've got to have thick skin. You've got to. And you're going to always have someone that's been there, done that a lot better than you. And I would say for those that are maybe judging from the inside out and looking at other people and comparing themselves, don't do that. Like, I think, look, God developed us all differently, and he wired us all differently, and he's going to gift somebody, and he's not going to gift somebody else with the same qualities and traits. So I think that figure out what your strengths are, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and work on both. Improve your strengths so you can be even better than the next guy at your strengths. And then with your weaknesses, we all have room to grow. And I think that having thick skin in the business world is a must. There's no doubt, or you're not going to survive.
So thank you. Definitely can't survive without thick skin. You definitely need it to evolve and move forward. And how do you handle challenges, current ones or ones you have faced in the past?
Well, I would say nowadays, a lot of it's through prayer and contemplation, meditation, and just having some quiet moments where I can kind of reflect as a business leader on what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right. If it's a situation that for whatever reason is, let's just use real life. So the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've been presented with a situation that may go great, it may go super horrible, and I there's nothing I can do either way. Like I'm literally stuck in the middle, like Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall. I can fall on the left and I can crack. I can fall on the right and I can break my shell, right? The best I can do, again, is to focus on my strengths, know my weaknesses, and work and improve on both. And hope and pray that the situation that currently I'm up against goes to my favor. And if it doesn't, then hopefully it will allow myself as a business leader to improve on some weaknesses and develop some new strengths, right? So I hope that answers that question.
I love how you bring in real world, right? This is no joke happening right now, because that's the areas where change happen, right? Whether it's for a positive change or a change that may not be so happy, right? But it will still produce some type of result, right? Especially if you look at it from the lens of optimism, right? Even if something happens that I don't like, I'm still willing to take that and see what I can do with that. And that's a great outlook on life. Talking about change, there has to be some type of strategy to not only receive moments where change is going to come, but change the change itself. What strategies do you implement to handle change in your life?
Just focusing on areas that I can improve upon. I think that absolutely change is going to come for all of us, and whether that's, you know, outside of business, friendships, relationships, opportunities. You know, opportunities is a big one because there's so many things in life that we want, and then something comes up, and then the opportunity has passed, or the opportunities for whatever reason have been postponed. And I think that those are times or opportunities that we can kind of shift our perspective and reflect on what changes are being presented, and how can we change ourselves in the way that we're responding to such changes. And so I think that that's an area of life that right now. Again, I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV since 2019. It's mainly a productivity tool for me personally. And I don't listen to the radio unless it's worship music. I literally just have a lot of quiet time when I'm not working or when I'm not engaging with my family, friends, or teams. And so I think for me, having that quiet time to reflect is crucial for me with regards to perspective and how I react to change.
Well, I want to really thank you for putting together Wings for Warriors, and here it is going on its 10th year. That's amazing. Over 5,000 veterans and family, opening it up to every veteran, every first responder, and their support network is amazing. So thank you for that. And for our listeners, wanted to either contact yourself, Anthony Doc Ameen, or Wings for Warriors, or know about the gala, how will they go about doing that?
They can visit our website at wingsforwarriors.org. There's a lot of opportunities to give. It's not just financially. Obviously we're a nonprofit, so donations, contributions, that's a must in order for us to grow and succeed in our mission. But I would say that, as far as if they wanted to find ways that they can help, they can visit our website. They can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. And our gala coming up is a Veterans Day Gala. It's on Thursday, November 11th. It's going to be at the Madison Center for the Arts here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a very classy venue. It's got a theater. We're going to have a little bit of a movie. We're going to have some entertainment, some music, some desserts, some champagne. It's going to be an amazing event, but mainly to showcase the challenges of the veteran and first responder communities and how our guests can make a difference and an impact in their lives. And a lot of listeners that may want to be able to support us. If you're a business leader, if you're part of a company that has corporate social responsibility and Wings for Warriors Foundation aligns with your corporate social responsibilities, please contact us. There's so many ways that sponsors can give and support our mission.
Outstanding. And I know that gala is going to be a hit, not only locally with the folks that are supporting you, but with those that may want to, go on a road trip and go get to a fancy venue and enjoy the evening. Doc, I really appreciate your service. I really appreciate the longevity of your organization and the mission that you guys have endeavored to bring to the world. And folks, we're going to have all his information as part of the video and the show notes so that you can contact Wings for Warriors and see if you want to participate with them, support them. Either way, at least send them a thank you for what they're doing. And if you want to contact us, the leadershipvoid@gmail.com is our email. If you'd like to see guests on here, if you would like to ask us a question about leadership centric issues, we will gladly take that, curate it, and answer back. And if you want to be on the show, let us know, and we'll also look at that and give you guys an opportunity. But today, Doc, thank you so much for being with us. I know that you guys have a bright future ahead of you, and we can't wait to follow up and see how far you get.
Hey, thank you both. God bless you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to hearing the great news in the near future. And speaking of news, we do a couple extra things additional to our Leadership Void podcast. We have one called the Radio Check, is a way for us to check in with our battles to see how they're doing on the 1st and the 15th at 1900, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go LinkedIn Live for 20, 30 minutes. And hey, we're just putting the platform out there and we're just checking in, hence Radio Check. So tune into those on the 1st and the 15th. Also, we on a subscription goal to reach our 200 goal. Join our YouTube channel, The Leadership Void, and you enter and join to the leaders to reach this great book, Standing Your O, the Salute Edition by Scott McGregor. So you will be at that autograph book can go to you. So you'll be a lucky winner by joining and subscribing. And next week, we have another dynamic guest doing great things in the military spouse community. So stay tuned for that. But for today, we have the honor and privilege of listening to Anthony Doc Ameen, doing some wonderful things, Wing for Warriors. Hopefully you all tuned in, loved it, and donate for his cause. Thank you again.